Kobe Bryant was influential on and off the court.
He taught me how to love women's sports just as much as men's sports.
He inspired me to play basketball at a young age.
Kobe Bryant is the name I will always remember when I think of the NBA.
He is someone I will always look up to.
Kobe Bryant's mentality changed my life.
Kobe Bryant was a legend. He was influential to people across the world on and off the court. There are not many players in the game of basketball who touch many people beyond the sport, but Kobe touches people among all aspects of life. I, among hundreds of thousands of others, have always been a huge Kobe fan. Being born in Los Angeles, the name Kobe Bryant was highly spoken of. I grew up in a family of sports fanatics and loved sports at a young age. I've played basketball for as long as I can remember, competing on my elementary, middle, and high school teams. Tennis was always the sport I was very serious about, so I spent most of my time practicing tennis, but I always had a natural talent for basketball. My form was not the prettiest, but my athletic ability was enough to give me great success on my teams. I was also so knowledgeable about the game that I had this intuition which allowed me to make smart decisions. My family loves Kobe Bryant so much that we named our now 4-year-old dog Kobe. I always knew how much the city of Los Angeles loved Kobe, but on the day of Kobe's death, I realized how much the entire world adored him. It made me wonder how a basketball player can inspire people beyond basketball. So let's start with his career. His stats prove that he is one of the greatest to ever play the game. He won 5 national championships, 2 finals MVPs, 2 Olympic gold medals, and finished 4th career in scoring. As the stats prove, he had a lot of talent, but talent was not the only thing that got him all of his success. Playing sports is a mental game. If you don't have the mental aspect, you will not get very far. Kobe adopted the Mamba mentality to better his game. Kobe explains it as just trying to get better every day. Kobe always pushed himself to be the best. When he achieved his championship and personal goals, he still wanted more. This way of thinking was not just followed by Kobe. Kobe made sure to encourage others to try to get better every day, whether it be in sports or anything else in life. Because this idea came from Kobe, a public figure, people were inclined to follow this way of thinking. Over time, the Mamba mentality became something that connected people to Kobe, and his impact even more powerful. Kobe was human and made mistakes. His nickname, the Black Mamba, came out of a dark place following sexual assault charges, but he used it as a personal brand to influence people on and off the court. Kobe used his nickname to reinvent his persona on the court, which then helped him off the court. On the court, he became a ruthless, merciless predator. The Black Mamba was the persona he could embrace to separate himself from publicly and personal from all the baggage in his own name at that point. Off the court, Kobe was ruthless in everything he was passionate about. He was determined to be a good father, create support for women's sports, and develop the Mamba Foundation to teach underprivileged children not only about sports, but about their confidence going through life. Kobe was an amazing dad who was very invested in his family's happiness. Kobe was especially close with his daughter Gianna, who aspired to be in the WNBA. Kobe coached Gianna's basketball team, and he dedicated his talent to make sure they succeeded. Kobe was a role model to all other dads and inspired them to become more invested in their children's lives. Kobe always wanted to support Gianna's interests, so he became a big advocate for women's sports and women's rights. Most people expect NBA players to not care about women's sports because it does not affect them. Ann Myers-Drysdale, Phoenix Mercury vice president and television analyst, said, Steph Curry or Vince Carter or LeBron James. A lot of these guys that have daughters, but they're not involved. They don't support the WNBA. They don't support women in sport. They can say it, but it's all a mouthpiece. They're not involved like Kobe was. Kobe was very outspoken, which brought a lot of attention to women's sports, and his legacy outside of basketball grew because he stood for more than himself. One example of his support for women's sports was when Kobe attended the WNBA All-Star Game with Gianna in 2019 and became friends with Oregon phenomenon Sabrina Ionescu, who later spoke at his funeral in 2020. In addition, Kobe wanted people to see how important supporting women's sports was. In 2015, Kobe and his daughters attended the women's national soccer team's game and spoke out about supporting women no matter what. He shared that the women were great examples and role models for his girls. Kobe influenced many influenced men and women across the world to believe that they are equal and they should be equally supported. Kobe became a man that stood for equal rights in not just basketball, but all aspects of life. Kobe wanted everyone to have the same opportunities as his kids. He created the Mamba Foundation and Mamba Sports Academy to assist underprivileged youth and people in getting involved in sports programs. He created a positive impact through Sports for Youth. The foundation stood for educating children about sports and providing them opportunities through the Mamba mentality of getting better every day and not being held back by anything. Currently, over 9,817 youths have been impacted, 472 veterans assisted, and more than 1,000 volunteers have helped create this vision of equal opportunity. After Kobe and Gianna's passing in 2020, the name of the foundation was changed to Mamba Mamacita Sports Academy. On January 26, 2020, Kobe, his daughter Gianna, and 7 other passengers were involved in a fatal helicopter crash in Los Angeles, California. All the passengers on the helicopter passed away upon impact. I remember when I found out about Kobe and this horrific event. I had been playing tennis and took a quick break to look at my phone and saw texts from my family and friends about Kobe's passing. I remember a rush of sadness just falling over me. I continued to play tennis, but I could not focus. One of the biggest inspirations to millions of people had just died. I returned to my phone and saw hundreds of posts on my Instagram feed, Snapchat, and Facebook. In that moment, I realized how much Kobe really touched the world. I knew the city of Los Angeles and basketball fans were touched by him, but I did not know that he touched millions around the world. I had always heard Kobe was an advocate for women's sports or that he started foundations, but I did not know the details or the amount of effort he actually put into them. I had always heard Kobe taught people about the mentality of basketball and how to live life, but I also did not know the true meaning of his words. I was touched by Kobe's tenacity and fight on the court, and I was touched by all he did off the court. But before this research project, I did not know how large of an impact he was on so many people. I love Kobe even more after this research project, and I hope that if you do not know a lot about Kobe, you can see how amazing of a human being he was. I don't look at him as just an amazing basketball player, but I look at him as an amazing human being.